Now, with the reveal of Season 3, there is something that I might have foreshadowed in a previous video that I uploaded today that SDS actually went ahead and did. Now, we're going to talk about the best divisions to go after and which diamonds you should be going after first, and then after you get those certain amount of diamonds within those divisions, which division you should move on to, because the rest you're going to get naturally. But all I ask in return before we even dive into that is for you to hit that like button and red subscribe button. So we're going to go into the inventory to start things off, and then we're going to go to starting pitchers, and in specific we're going to go all the way to the Angels, and you guys are about to see something that I was not too surprised about because I expected to see it. A 99 overall Shohei Ohtani 2021 All-Star Game card. It's most likely going to be the collection rewards for collecting all of the 2021 All-Star Game cards. So that means collecting probably all of the Home Run Derby cards that come out, all of the All-Star Game cards that come out, and then all of Team Affinity Season 3 cards that come out. But don't quote me on that, because it could be also just collecting each and every single Team Affinity Season 3 card that they have revealed and is already in the game that allows you to obtain this Shohei Ohtani. But let's look at the Shohei Ohtani, right? 112 hit per 9, 107 K per 9, 76 walk per 9, 92 home run per 9. All of them are beautiful. 97 four seam, 87 splitter, 80 slider, 86 cutter, 74 curveball. Speed differentials are amazing. If we look at the quirks, does he have outlier? He doesn't have outlier, but he has that little weird delivery that makes it hard to pick up on him. Now, you might be wondering, okay, great pitching card for Shohei Ohtani. We're used to seeing something like that, but are you used to seeing something like this, huh? Are you used to seeing 101, 125 against right-handers, 94, 125 against left-handers? This is basically Kyle Schwarber, right? As a starting pitcher. As a damn starting pitcher. 91 speed, even though I'm covering it. I'll go ahead so nobody beats me up for this. I'll go ahead and show it to you all. 91 speed, 67 fielding, 67 reaction. Who knows if we can go ahead and slot him into right field. But if we can, that will be even more amazing. But the fact that he is a starting pitcher with these hitting attributes, I promise you that everyone and their moms is going to be using this Shohei Ohtani, just like everyone and their moms is going to be using or has been using that Edward Cabrera, because this card is going to be out of this world. And I don't want to take credit for foreshadowing it, but I did definitely foreshadow it a couple of times. I did it before they went ahead and revealed the player of the months, and then I also did it today in my moments video that I uploaded a little bit earlier. Now, let's talk about the best divisions to do and knock out and which players to go after. We stream each and every single day at 1 a.m. Eastern on Twitch, and then the Discord link, how to become a member, all of my socials and other YouTube channels are also inside the description. That's the only place you have to go ahead and look. So we're going to start with the NL East, because the NL East, in my opinion, has 3 of the best players you can go ahead and get. We start off with Jacob deGrom. I think that everybody should get Jacob deGrom because this is a free 99 Jacob deGrom that has outlier on his fastball, has 3 great off-speed pitches with great control, great break, and last but not least, his hitting attributes are out of this world for a pitcher. 63 contact versus right, 72 contact versus left, 53 power versus right, 43 power versus left. I think he almost has as much contact versus right as Giancarlo Stanton. So that's going to be one of the first must-haves. Then you look at Trey Turner. If you're not looking for a shortstop because you got your ball player there, that's fine. He can play second base for you. He can play third base for you. He has 110, 125 contact, 99, 85 power. He's going to be hitting home runs, 99 speed. Even if you don't want him as a player to play on your Diamond Dynasty team, he can definitely come in as a pinch runner. And then the 72 fielding and 70 reaction, the 99 speed is going to make up for it when we're talking about him playing at short or at any other position. And then last but not least, the third player that I believe is going to be must-have is going to be Ozzie Albies, but this is going to be dependent on whether or not you like his swing. I love his swing. I think his card always plays above his attributes. I use his swing on my ball player, so this is definitely going to be a card that I try out. Versus left-handers, no problems at all. He has 125, 120. Versus right-handers, you run into a little bit more trouble, But as soon as you start paralleling him and super factoring him, you're going to be straight. 82 fielding, 84 reaction. That is going to be gold fielding, gold reaction. 73 speed is also pretty good for a second baseman, so no issues there. Those are going to be the 3 players that you go after the NL East. Once you have those 3 players, I wouldn't worry about getting JT or Rogers, because you're just going to be able to complete these 2 naturally by just going ahead and doing these missions. So I wouldn't worry about Trevor Rogers. I wouldn't worry about JT. And yes, I went to Trevor Rogers because I almost called him Jake, and I've actually called him Jake a couple of times. So I wanted to make sure it was Trevor Rogers before I said something incorrectly. Now for the NL Central, you have yourself Josh Hader. Free Josh Hader, 97 overall, 125, 125, hit per 9, K per 9, which are the 2 most important attributes for pitchers. And then he has fastball, slider, changeup. So he's going to be a 3-pitch arsenal, must have. He's going to go ahead and be an upgrade in everyone's bullpen. Then you have Nicholas Castellanos, who can play first base and third base, and is all around going to be one of the best hitting cards strictly through attributes inside the game. As soon as you parallel him up to parallel 1, he's not going to have one hitting attribute underneath 100. As I said, can play first base, third base, so you don't even need David Ortiz, you don't need Eddie Murray, like you don't even need Chipper Jones, to be honest with you. This guy is going to be able to do it all, unless you definitely want that switch hitter. And then last but not least, you have Alex Reyes from the NL Central. You have a 4-seam, a sinker, a slider, 12-6 changeup, 125, 115, and then he has outlier on that sinker, so he's already going to be throwing that fastball 100 plus, and then that sinker coming in at 100 plus as well. It's going to be beautiful. Then we go on to the AL Central, where we have another great switch hitting player in Jose Ramirez, and this is more of a utility bat, can go ahead and play anywhere on the diamond, and then he has an exceptional swing as well inside the game that allows him to play above his attributes. Fielding and reaction at 75, 78. Once you play him at a secondary position, it's still going to be silver. 68 speed is also good enough. And then if you really like Salvador Perez's Life Series card, or you really loved his Team Affinity card, this card just gets a whole lot better, especially against left-handers. And then 80 arm strength, 87 reaction. He's going to have one of the best pop times and one of the best arms for catchers. Now, if you have Kyle Schwarber, I wouldn't use him above Kyle Schwarber unless you're using him as a platoon hitter. Kyle Schwarber against right-handers, and then Salvador Perez against left-handers. And then last but not least, from the AL Central, we have Gregory Soto that has a sinker, slider, 4-seam, and a changeup, 4-pitch arsenal, and he has the outlier on the sinker. So from the left-hand side, he's going to be throwing that fastball over 100, and he's also going to be throwing that sinker over 100. And then after you get those 3, you want to go to the NL West, because in the NL West, we have guys like Eduardo Escobar, another great switch hitter with a great swing that is a utility man. You can place him at first, second, short, left, right field, wherever you want. The fielding is going to be silver. And then if you parallel him at third base, it's going to turn gold at parallel 1. If you use him at a secondary position, he might be able to be gold at superfractor, but the reaction definitely will be gold at like parallel 3, parallel 4. And then we go on to German Marquez. I think these 2 are the 2 must-haves from the NL West. Why German Marquez? Well, he has that slider, he has that changeup, he has that knuckle curve, and he also has that sinker and the fastball. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have any outlier, but that fastball at 97 means it's coming in at 100, and then the sinker at a 95 means that it's going to be coming in at a 98. And then the final 2 divisions between the AL East and the AL West, it's really going to be up to you. To me, the only must-have card from the AL East is going to be Aaron Judge, because he's going to be great in terms of hitting, and he's going to be amazing in terms of fielding. And then Teoscar Hernandez is a close second must-have, but the downside to him is, 1, Aaron Judge is much better than him all around as a card, and number 2, Aaron Judge is much better than him all around as a fielder as well. Then you can have Rafael Devers as a platoon hitter, Cedric Mullins, you can have him as well, but the fielding is the liability, especially in that arm strength. So Aaron Judge is really the only one that stands out to me from the AL East. And then from the AL West, none of them really stand out as must-have cards, right? Because you say Kikuchi, cutter, 4-seam, slider, changeup. He doesn't throw anything too fast, so it's really not going to overpower anybody. At left field, Michael Brantley, I'm pretty sure anybody playing their secondary position can give you equal value to Michael Brantley. And then Jared Walsh, he's going to be a platoon hitter, but you have guys like Nicholas Castellanos that can give you equal value. David Ortiz, Matt Olson, which we're talking about this Matt Olson, by the way, and Matt Olson can hit against both sides. And then last but not least, Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia, out of all of them, might be the best hitter, but the fielding is the downside to him at center field, despite him having 86 speed. So it's going to be up to you. I really don't have any of these AOS players as must-haves, unless you love Matt Olson's swing. Then I would consider him out of all of them must-haves. But you have so many first basemen that really having 2 first basemen just did not help out at all. And then having guys like Mike Trout and a bunch of other primary center fielders did not help out Adolis Garcia at all either. So that's what I would focus on. I'd focus on getting the first 3, first 2, then Aaron Judge, and then you can go ahead and complete whatever division your heart desires. If you did end up enjoying today's content, once again, like button or subscribe button. Make sure you go ahead and click on the description box and check everything else out there. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.